afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero, Psych Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on a favorable approach between these. We got here Stupendousman, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, taking on the role here of the Panzer Lehr, Panzer Division, a rank 29 Wehrmacht player, by the way. Here with Spearhead, Jaeger Infantry, and German mechanized double infantry mines versus in the west we got Latch, a rank 77 Brit player here, fighting for King and Country of the Commonwealth, taking on the role here of the 51st Infantry Division with Vanguard, Commandos, and Mobile Assault, all commando-oriented doctrines, triple machine gun bullets as well there for Latch. So that's definitely looking to be slightly different there from the average Brit play. Vickers as well, so he's definitely not going for the usual, at least initially, just get a lot of sections and then hit the enemy really hard with them. Those Stupendousman is clearly playing like his opponent's going to go for it by going there for a very early start, so that will try and somehow stall it. Though he invested that many infantry sections, I do occasionally see the Slav actually struggles versus all of it. The British player is sufficiently aggressive, but there you go. Trench up in the centre, denying there the possibility for an easy rush there for Stupendousman and his Grenadiers here versus Latch, who quickly falls into the trench, making this a very difficult undertaking for Stupendousman's infantry. In the meanwhile, he has to wait for the snipers to have a chance there. Another option would have been a mortar. Point there being secured, sandbags down to help make it easier to defend against any troops occupying the house there, for example. And because machine guns setting up there inside the house. So moving out there for Stupendousman, and these maps will reinforce the northern half of the map there for the German army, the Panzer Lehr. Vickers just standing about, they got the sniper moving up. Ready to shoot, and shoots, misses, and then retreats. Do you see something? I think someone shot at us. Oh, shut up, Harry. No one listens to you anyway. What? Trenches down here by the southern fuel point for Latch. Very cautious approach here. Very trench-oriented approach. Section are caught by the Grenadiers out in the open. They're going to get to heavy cover for the Grenadiers, so they should overall win due to the bonuses here versus the Grenadiers. And there you go, that looks to be a lost engagement there for Stupendousman, unless he gets really lucky on the rolls here, in which case he's might have a chance, or he's going to have to retreat pretty soon, because overall the section's just going to be able to outshoot the Grenadiers, plus they're harder to kill than the Grenadiers. And that's basically what's happening now. So even if he got one kill there, he would have to very quickly get a second kill to have a chance there versus the section. In this case, that is not how things at all went for Stupendousman. He's almost losing the Grenadiers there as well. Sniper sort of peeking about. They can't find going to kill me. All got a mortar out there to further make things difficult here, causing Latch to abandon the house and move towards the trench. And there you go, punishment help there. Avenge the fallen Grenadiers for the fatherland. Schnell, Männer! Kill them all! Ah, scheiße, sie got Ludwig. But everybody vote Ludwig, kill them all! And there you go, mortify and start firing on the trench, forcing Latch to abandon that. As it turns out, the trench isn't particularly more sniper or mortar proof than a house. More Grenadiers out there for Stupendousman and the Panzer Lehr. We got a third section out there for Latch. Tech up as well there, going on for the British Army. So far territorially, Latch is a bit on the defensive, but then again that's clear with all the trenches there. He was sort of aiming for a slightly more defensive play versus Stupendousman, who is going in a more aggressive play. They're going to try and bleed out the Tommies, initiate a war of attrition, and there goes Sniper firing the section there, gaining a third kill to his tally. Pioneers push back and got section ring about here, securing the last bit of ground that has not been claimed yet. We can see the Stupendousman after the two Grenadiers, the sniper and the mortar is actually taking up. No machine guns for him, but then again, Latch's play so far is not necessarily going to require machine guns. Again, it's much more defensive play, oriented around trenches, so the machine gun is going to find itself having a hard time for Stupendousman. So it makes sense what he's going for there, it makes sense. Trench there getting mortared, he's just going to destroy it. Section creeping ahead here, on the west there's a sniper waiting in the bushes. There you go, gun has been flanked by the section, could rush into the trench, deny it here. Well, not deny it, but just use it and thusly deny the point. Very easily versus the Grenadiers will stand no chance. Up north here, Vickers opening up the Grenadiers there. Latch, by the looks of it, is taking up there for an armoured car. Maybe he's definitely not spending the resources right away. I mean, he's got a manpower float there. And there's not really any of the sort of doctrines that can sort of pop him out a fast commando squad either. So it's either he's just too focused on the front line, but there you go, hitting the northern fuel point, securing other territories there, outmaneuvering Stupendousman overall, not just looking to charge into where he's, focused around the centre, his Schwerpunkt, but instead looking, you know, to hit the flanks, the sides, and that way sort of whittle away at Stupendousman's forces. Grenadiers there holding on with support from the mortar, but ultimately they are forced away, and there it goes. As soon as they are done, this section is also very much done, having done their duty for the Commonwealth. Like to make a nice copy up the Stupendousman and the Panzer Lehr. Looks like Panzergrenadiers others ready to go for a half to go 2-2-2. And Latch is aiming for a counter sniper there to end the reign of terror of Stupendousman's sniper. That's going to be interesting to see how that works out. If it works out for Latch, of course, that's a big win. If it fails, of course, it's a big loss, at which point he's really putting behind there Stupendousman's. It's a bit risky there what he's planning, Mr. Latch. It is a bit risky. Baker's pushing it towards us. They're going to catch the mortar out in the open. We can see that Latch, not Latch, but Stupendousman orders his mortar crew to fall back to safer positions, realising pretty much just left it hanging out there to dry with no infantry screener whatsoever. Going to do something southwards, noting no upgrades for Stupendousman's Grenadiers, no light machine guns, might do staying up for mines or whatnot, and there you go. Telemines here to protect there's an armoured car rushing in from the north. Stupendousman there taking his opponent very seriously. Grenadiers reinforcing, healing. And there you go, Telemine done. Advancing through the south here with the Grenadiers. Mortar back on the house there, section ring up pack for him with Stupendousman. He is really taking the armoured car threat seriously. So far Latch is yet to go forward. So he's committing very heavily to it because Stupendousman does not want to be caught off guard by it, obviously. That of course also limits a bit, you know, how much he can project force more aggressively, since, you know, as a Panzer Grenadier squad with a ground force would be much better here versus Latch. But it very much means that Latch can't just catch his Stupendousman off guard when it comes. And there he goes, sniper goes down there. He was too worried about the vehicles, never considered a sniper, and thusly his own sniper got blasted into big chunks. Quite a loss there for Stupendousman, and a definite win there for Latch. Psychologically also, but also just, and he does know this, but I mean, he's pretty much got an edge there now versus the infantry, whereas the opponent's now committing too much to anti-tank. We'll have to see if we can keep up with these successes here. Here Latch, whether Stupendousman will be able to regain the initiative in service of Deutschland. And there you go, Grenadiers push back. The trench proving to be too much of an obstacle there, and lacking any doctrines to make it easy there. There's certainly no chance there. Grenadiers push back there. Fuel pump being harassed again by the section. He punishing northwards with minesweepers. Latch going for his own 6-pounder gun, and Stupendousman going for a counter sniper here. There's going to be some heavy sniper duels here on the map by the looks of it. Will Latch though anticipate a second sniper though? Or will he just sort of think, you know, that's it, no more snipers? That's going to be the interesting bit here. That's going to be the really interesting bit. But Latch here displaying some good ability to harass his opponent. Of course, Stupendousman doing the same, but Latch having the slight edge there in the trenches. And troops reinforcing, healing. No medical kits there by the sniper, and he's basically keeping that one back. Honestly, he can't do so because he doesn't want to risk, you know, a few stray shots taking it out. And Stupendousman is clearly waiting for his opponent's sniper to reveal himself because he immediately orders it to hold fire. He does not want to risk, even by accident, you know, he gives away his existence until he's absolutely necessary. So this is a very interesting move there by Stupendousman. Oh, he's not reinforcing the sniper or healing him. I mean, obviously the sniper can't be reinforced. It's a one-man team, a one-man operation. There you go, looking for easy kills now. Then he's advancing there to cover mortar fire against the trench. They could actually just smoked it, that made it much easier for his advance. But also rendered the trench useless. If we see alarm to maybe rush up something and pop a grenade down more easily, but there you go. Trench about to go down there, section force back, bleeding out. Latch, by the way, could easily be taken up by now, pushing for medium armor versus Stupendousman. It is one of the British biggest advantages. It is just the ability to very quickly push for reasonably efficient medium tanks versus their opponents. So Latch not going for it is a bit surprising. In fact, he's going for mortar and place. He wants artillery here to possibly counter Stupendousman, but also make it harder for Stupendousman's infantry to work out, which does make sense. But I mean, if you sort of consider the manpower and the fuel, he could easily begin taking up by now, and as soon as it is done, he could almost more or less begin pushing for a Cromwell. At which point he'd have roughly a 10 to 11 minute crumble there if he'd done so. Not saying the mortar emplacement isn't going to be useful, but there's definitely, at least part of my personal philosophy, more emphasis of pushing out medium tanks fast. So in that regard, it's certainly not something I would recommend. But it is an option, though. I mean, I'm not going to say, never go for a mortar emplacement and so on and so on. I mean, it can have pretty good edges and advantages, but when you're this close, to being able to push out a fast medium tank, though, I generally would pursue that option, personally. Because it's generally going to have more of an impact versus your opponent. Meanwhile, troops are reinforcing, sniper there creeping about. 4 kills so far. Looks like he might actually be anticipating the sniper a bit there. I mean, he's not just willy-nilly running about there getting off shots left and right. So I think he's anticipating that Stupendousman is going for a counter sniper. That's one of those trickier things here, like, do you assume your opponent goes for it? Because if you do, I mean, obviously your sniper's going to be a lot less efficient. Oh. Oh. There we go. Didn't hit. Oh, and now the, jig is up there. Latch now knows Stupendousman has gone for a second sniper. He's also going for Panzergrenadier there. And of course, in this regard, he's also taking up at the same time, though, which is good. I mean, that means that Stupendousman now has a chance of pushing up with medium armor, though now Latch is also taking up. So both players are now heading for medium armor more or less at the same time. But of course, Latch still has the advantage there, even if he could have done it faster, because, and this of course is very important, with the Brits you tech and you build at the same time. As again for the Germans, you have to tech then build. That's a lot more attention, resources and time that sort of basically goes into that. So even with that, and Stupendousman might even take up faster here than Latch, I mean, he's still going to be behind. So that's going to be a challenge there for Stupendousman. That's going to also reward some of his packs there and his mines. But there you go, Panzergrenadiers win with the infantry in this regard. Latch not having gone for any upgrades for the infantry definitely means the Panzergrenadiers will have a very nice time of it versus Latch forces. Sniper Lancer could hit the Grenadiers, taking them out. Panzergrenadier advancing furiously. Sturmgewehr singing out the dirge of death. And there you go, got the sniper there. Latch, despite knowing opponent snipers about, they did not, play more carefully. That was definitely a mistake, I would say, by Latch. Definite mistake there. A victory for Stupendousman and the German army. The Panzer Lehr's Panzergrenadiers shooting down those Tommies with their Sturmgewehrs. Grab the northern victory point on their back. Enforcing healing. Nothing further going on there for Stupendousman. No support corps yet. Then this hauling a light machine gun up north as they go catching the section out and open. Sniper supporting, getting off a good kill there against a Latch's section. Bren gun less as it is. But there you go. He's not even going for Cromwell right away, so he's going for hammer tactics. Latch here going for the bolder move. He's going straight in for comets, and overall the comet is making a bit of a renaissance here with the Brits as they sort of realise despite being nerfed, it is still pretty good. I mean, in many cases that's basically what a lot of units boils down to. In the case, if they just go out there and suddenly return, it's just that people either realise, hey, it was still pretty good, and they just decide it was good in the first place. So there you go, pushing ahead. Now they're falling back. 3 kills, veterans 1 gram the northern victory point. In the south, though, we can see now Stupendousman opening out for a second front there versus Latch. Very good. Centre's not much happening there because now the players are committing a lot, so that opens up for more action there. Looks like Stupendousman is setting up. He's got the Pioneers ready, manpower, fuel ready as well. Though he needs still to be fast about it. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to get any edge out of it now versus Latch, and then it's going to be too late. Stupendousman still not doing anything there. Support McCourt still awaiting construction. There we go. Sending about. Going to be securing territory there, and alongside the Panzergrenadier. And I'm still a bit surprised they just went for the full assault rifle right on the Panzergrenadiers initially, because overall that is not how they're equipped. I mean, later sort of organisation from like the late 1944 and the Panzer Brigades and later even Panzer Divisions would include assault rifles. The more common ones, they were basically just grenadiers with an extra light machine gun, just more automatic firepower. Meaning a regular Panzergrenadier squad would have 2 LMG-42s or MG-34s against the enemy. So that's sort of the Fun note there. But again, later on there would be sort of StuGs there, where it should be heavily equipped with assault rifles. But even then, there'd then be sort of a support unit there, or platoon, then equipped heavily with light machine guns to sort of provide covering fire. Which is basically how the Volksgrenadier units were supposed to operate. Like, you know, you had, say, an assault company, there'd be 2 assault platoons heavily equipped with assault rifles, then there'd be a support platoon, a sort of fire support platoon, yeah, support, yeah, call it that. Then sort of heavily equipped with light machine guns to sort of provide support for the assault platoons. Mortar fire there on the trench. Trying to clear it out. More sections moving in there. Still no upgrades for Latch. He's actually flooding an awful lot of munitions, which definitely feels like a mistake by Latch. I mean, obviously he's trying to go for the comet as fast as possible here. But the question, it could maybe not have been achieved better if we could just pressure Stupendousman's infantry better with Bren guns. In particular, Stupendousman is slowly beginning to upgrade his grenadiers, but still upgrade the second squad, and we got a Panzer IV out here. Though that's going to be a bit challenged here by Latch's comet. Fresh trench being dug there since the first one got blown to bits by those damn dirty hands. Mortar crew advancing here. Stupendousman playing it pretty loose with it, pretty aggressively. And Latch actually setting up here a forward assembly ultimine in the flanks here. In fact, he's mining most of the approaches towards the mortar emplacement, which prevents any sort of dives against it or any rushes against anything. So very interesting move there by Latch. Panzer IV almost done, but Stupendousman's going to need StuGs there to support the Panzer IV against the comet, who's going to have to be pretty much lucky. Oh, mortar there, wiped by the enemy mortar emplacement. The for the 70 bonus pretty much just makes it very nice with an increased rate of fire.
Enemy action has destroyed our forward position.
I imagine Stupendousman did not anticipate that, because most British players, by the way, do not build a forward 70 unless they're actually gone for advanced emplacement. Like, they will never go for it without it. So Latch actually doing it is pretty interesting. I mean, it's still a pretty good investment there. You can serve as a fort retreat point, reinforcement point, and you can also upgrade weapons from it. It's just most people never use it for that. Got the Panzer IV rolling in the south, and we got the comet out as well for Latch and the 51st Division there. And Stupendousman's Panzergrenadiers is going to find itself a bit outgunned, to put it mildly. There we go, moving ahead there. 6 Panzer gun moving support as well. Pack 40 is nowhere near there because it doesn't know it's there. Meanwhile, more harassment in the north though from Stupendousman. That is good. It's now moving in. There we go. Comet arrives. Straight for the Panzer IV. Landing a nice hit there with the 17mm gun. Takes a hit though from the Panzer IV, but is still in a overall better condition there. But there you go. Pack 40 finding support here. Oh, damage injured as well. He might actually lose the Comet here. Missed the Panzer IV there. Oh dear, he's very low on health. Oh, he's going for a smoke screen in front of the Pack 40. And of course, that was prevented from firing. He, in this case, just pushing ahead. They could have tried to attack ground, but that is obviously less accurate. Gonna do some retreating right in front of the Comet. Really close that case here for Latch. Really close. Desperately trying to get the Comet out. They're also noting both players are yet to go for Doctrine. Less commendable. Oh, he actually makes it, I think. Takes a penetrating hit, but the Comet is still operable. The Comet looks to be able to escape here, Stupendousman. That is really lucky there for Latch. Though obviously there's also some good maneuvering there, and the use of smoke shells there, I think, also had an edge there instead of giving out of there. So that's a pretty good use there. Most players tend not to use fire smoke shell, though do see a slight increase in players who do use it. And overall, just making good use of smoke tends to be quite helpful in general. StuG there, halfway down for Stupendousman, and the Panzer Lehr, Panzer Division, Panzer Lehr pushing forward. There's strange machine gun, getting suppressed there, not unable to, unable to close in with a button grenade and sort of flash out. Oh, gets within range. Oh, damn, that was lucky. Annihilating the Vickers machine gun. That's going to try and rush it.
Emplacement under attack.
Good flank in from the south. We got the 6 Panzer Grenadiers covering the flank there. StuG done now. Grenadiers wiped. Bit of a loss there for Stupendousman and the German army. Also some action up there by the northern victory point. Might try and hit the fuel point there. Section needs to get out of there. In with the 6-pounder gun. Oh, the 6-pounder gun was repositioned. Probably because it realised it's actually pretty exposed by the fuel point. So that's actually a good move. Comet still being repaired. He's only got one sapper to repair it. More would be a really good idea there for Latch. Be a really good idea. But his Molten Place not going to go down. Then we got the Panzer IV, the Stug and the Pak 40 there. All intent on blowing it to bits. Latch by with 500 munitions. That is quite extreme. Quite extreme. They really should choose a doctrine so he's going to get something out of it. I mean, in this case, Vanguard Operation seems the most likely simply because it offers strength and support. They couldn't if they go for Commander Regiment. In mortar cover could be really amazing, just bringing up some of Stupendousman's positions and defences, plus assault, smoke radar operation, all of them would be really good for him and would make use of all these munitions he's got. Stupendousman here with the doctrine is mechanised for the Panzer Lehr. Section pushing through their own artillery. 6-pounder gun supporting. Comet halfway down there. Latch still floating. Manpower. At least he spent some munitions there with the artillery. In this case, he called it in from the Fort Assembly, which is an ability you can barely use from it as well. Even more rarely utilised than the Fort Assembly is the coordinated fire ability by it. That's an interesting usage over there by Latch, actually. He's definitely not your average British player, that's for sure.
The enemy have 300 points.
And there we go. Finally weapon racks. Finally Bren guns. Comet also almost done there. Now the Stug got there, machine is secured here by some brave grenadiers. Alright Heinz, you carry some Maschinengewehr. It's heavy. Yeah, it's water cooled. Tommy's never got the whole idea of this air cooled Maschinengewehr. They love the tea too much. Ah, yeah, but my back still hurts. Going for the coal pump, but there you go. Comet strikes with the fury of 1,000 setting suns. Sniper there with virtually 12 kills. This time a bit more ability for Stupendousman sniper. Replaced machine gun out there for Latch. Piets and the sappers. A lot of Bren gun fire there. And the sniper actually got shredded on retreat. Nice little flank there by Latch. Blindsided Stupendousman. Pioneers caught there trying to repair the Stug and themselves suffered rather heavy losses to the section there. Comet hanging back, couldn't much support the section there, but then again there's too much anti-tank supporting here, so drawing straight up there would certainly not be the best of ideas, but obviously to an extent he doesn't know this. Oh no, he's going to go for it. There you go, quick hit, we got the Stug moving up there. Quick hit there on the Stug by the Comet. 6-pounder gun moving up. And Panzer going to be out in the open. There was the Comet and the section. He pops a gammon bomb there. Big boom, but no real impact. He's yet to secure the cutoff point, meaning he's not getting any fuel from it, though he's still getting fuel from the northern point, meaning overall still Latch is pushing it in terms of fuel over Stupendousman. And could in theory actually be aiming for a second Comet, though. Still feels a bit risky the way he's approaching it, but at least he's now spending his munitions, though there is still a definite void where there should be a doctrine actually chosen. An abyss of non-doctrinalness. Stupendousman here with 2 pioneers, by which of course means he can rapidly fix up his panzers and his Sturmgeschütz, which is good.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Last shot fired there, but this Stug almost going down to the 6-pounder gun and the Comet. Finding the north there section versus Grenadiers, the light machine gun turbine there by the way unspoiled, yet to be discovered and detonated.
We've lost an anti-tank gun.
Oh, lost the anti-tank gun there to the Vickers. Bad news for Latch. Good news for Stupendousman, who immediately sets upon destroying it. That's definitely the right approach there by Stupendousman. But Latch rapidly sends in some saps to crewed and denied destruction to Stupendousman, since it can't be destroyed as long as it's crewed. Got the Grenadiers pushed back, but didn't take the point. Perhaps was too worried something else might have rhymed and sort of push him off, so he didn't want to risk it. Latch following up now with a Firefly. Interesting enough. I mean, he's got one comet he's been setting up, so it almost feels like he'd be just better off going for second comet and maybe launching a bigger assault alongside some more sappers, which is definitely one thing Latch needs. More sappers, and like one sapper section is not going to be enough for one comet, and certainly not for like a comet and a Firefly to keep them properly maintained. He's just going to give Stupendousman the armament advantage because Stupendousman has sort of more proper support crew for his Panzerwaffe. Up here, healing enforcement going on. Just repairs are needed, and still a severe lack of sappers and doctrines for Latch. Stupendousman, though, playing it rather passively, could launch a bigger assault into the north, could try and push for the fort assembly, could, south. I mean, there's really a lot of directions Stupendousman could go for here, but so far he's playing it very passively. Seemingly not sure what Latch is up to, and so rather than push his luck, he's going to wait and see there, try and rebuild his strength, and then sort of try and push in. Though, of course, that also bears its risks. Well, there you go, Firefly up, Tulip rockets, tank commander. And gunners are being swarmed here by the Bren section, all with Bren guns. That's clear they're trying to aim for a wipe there by hoping that Stupendousman isn't quite fast enough to react, and then just get them with the Bren guns. In fact, was really close to doing it. Has Stupendousman maybe been a second too slow to retreat, that could have been a wipe. And he retreated almost immediately as they arrived, by the way, so certainly highlights the power of the Bren guns in large numbers. Got the Firefly there setting up with its 17-pounder gun. Bit risky, they're moving up so close with no infantry support and no infantry screen. Nothing, in fact, just good hopes. Now the Vickers for Latch to help hold up some of Stupendousman's troops, probably help hold some of the more far off points.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Stupendousman anymore getting more aggressive here as the Latch securing more points. And in the centre, troops advancing across the road, getting suppressed machine guns and Bren guns and Pierce being dropped there. Just scattered about by Latch. And there you go, Firefly gets off hit above with a comet there against the Panzer Fort either way. Something hit the Panzer Fort and damaged it quite brutally. Stupendousman reacts by bringing up a command tank up a Fed's Panzerwagen. Two things pressed. There you go. Combo straight into the Pack 40, the StuGs as well. Target weak point available there. Target Civic point Fritz. Civic point Scheisse. And he does so, but it's a bit too late there. 6-pounder gun supporting Firefly, also able to support. Command tank moving ahead here, a bit risky. There you go, take shot. Need to keep pulling back the Comet. And now the Firefly is the one taking hits there from all of the German armor and tank. There we go. Ah, the Firefly goes down. Pushes luck too far there, Latch, and he got punished. They did get the command tank. It is still cheaper than the Firefly. Much cheaper. Well, not much cheaper, it's notably cheaper. Panzers they call out neck. Well, light covers them out, a chance to get closer in there. Oh, never mind, they do have the range bonus there, actually, too. They pop the bomb grenade at a safer range and just take it out. So several losses there for Latch, which is not good. Comet though eventually too. Still no additional sappers for Latch. I really think he needs more sappers so he can get that Comet back faster. Also allow him to be played a bit more aggressively. It seems like Latch is very much intent on this being only a one sapper show. Fixing up the StuGs again. Grab the southern fuel point again. And we finally got a doctrine there from Latch. It is Vanguard. He's using it to actually use the raid operations to secure the territory very fast. Very good work. Sehr good. With Stupendousman going for more Grenadiers, not seeing more Panzergrenadiers, just more regular Grenadier. So that'll be interesting to see how it works out for Latch. I'm just going to get the Pro Value from. We got here commanders called in. The Fort Logistics Glider has been called forth here by Latch and the 51st Infantry to provide more support, not just from tanks, but now from hardened commandos. Men who have undergone grueling training and been deprived of much, including good tea. Coming running southwards there, eventually two striking at the infantry, of course, using the radar base to try and capture the point. In this case, a bit too slow there for Latch. Again, more sappers that would have helped with getting back faster, so we could actually make better use of it. Glider bar there by the Ford Assembly, so he can reinforce this well. But of course, also safely call in commandos, which of course are 350 manpower, a pretty good deal. A 5-man squad that up close has more damage output than a Panzergrenadier squad with light gammon bombs is really good. Plus, of course, demo charges. Stuart with the getting to another target weak point there. 6-pounder gun supporting, but the Comet has to fall back once more. In the North Panther 14 with British infantry without anti-tank support, they are very much doomed. And there we go. Machine gun fire finishes off the last man standing. Cutting him down like wheat.
Point is being overrun. Vehicles and infantry.
There we go. Commander strikes with a rogue charge, going straight for the Grenadiers and immediately wiping up, forcing away there. Sniper misses. Light gun bomb off against the Panzergrenadier. Nicely dodged. The Jurgen does get a few hits there to his back. Panzer 4 and Panzer there's the commando section there, forcing them away though. Finally overwhelmed there by German firepower superiority, and we can see immediately he pops field first aid, so he doesn't have to immediately retreat them, so we can keep them on the front line there. Good decision there, I think, for Stupendousman. Spotting scope for the StuGs, but no machine guns for them.
We have 300 points remaining.
Could help them out a bit there. 300 points left there for Latch, though still got a lead over Stupendousman. Looks like he might be aiming for the Crocodile next, not I say additional Comet. Moving in to lay down mines, right in front of the Comets, sappers and officer, using by the glider here as a full retreat point.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us. Heavy tank awaiting orders.
Latch certainly beginning to struggle more and more with Stupendousman. As Stupendousman now just has the larger force and he's sort of able to make use of it quite efficiently to hold ground and make it harder for Latch to push ahead. Panzergrenadier reaching the warranted level veteran 3. We also got Grenadiers still with a Bren machine gun. In fact, he's got them equipped with double Brens. So that's a lot of firepower there in the Grenadiers. Up close and ugly there, these sections being cut to ribbons there by the Panzergrenadier. The sniper providing a nice supporting shot, and there you go, moving to secure the Bren gun there. But against the vehicles and heavy cover, there's no real chance, and the retreat there is immediate from Stupendousman. His reaction sharp, owned. And there you go, come straight ahead there with anti-tank support. We're still attacking into where he notices a lot of armor from Stupendousman, and the results are unsurprisingly very brutal there against Latch. Loses his Comet while feeding another Stup the veterancy, gaining that one veterancy too as well. Another sniper for Latch, yes, so many snipers increasing with this fight there, a lot of snipers. Not entirely sure I would recommend going for that one, and particularly if he's actually playing for the Crocodile or anything else, he does not want to be going for manpower for a sniper. And if he really has to delay it, he should really go for second 6-pounder gun to have a chance against the StuGs and the Panzer 4 with whatever armor he gets, because the problem is, if it goes for Crocodile or Comet, it's going to be severely outgunned by all the StuGs and the Panzer 4. Air support called in. Strafing support there, arriving for Latch. The RAF strikes. Throwing there, Stupendousman forces into disarray. Rocket striking pioneers to the fix up there. Allied Yarbus on the hunt.
200 points remaining.
Immediately forcing Stupendousman to retract his lines, lest he suffer the wrath of the Royal Air Force. Aircraft shot down, but still got some hits then on Stupendousman. So what will be next here? Latch is taking advantage of the air support to just quickly push back the front as much as conceivably possible here against Stupendousman, who's still overall as a much larger force. In fact, he's at 100 Popcat, whereas Latch is only at 48. So he's in many ways fighting from a position of weakness against Stupendousman. It's going to have to rely on some pretty clever tactics, or Stupendousman doing something really dumb to have a chance. Going for another 6-pounder gun there, which of course delays any armour, but of course the question is, would any armour do any help there without another anti-tank gun? Because there are 2 StuGs out in the field, and one of the best counters for StuGs is basically anti-tank guns, and StuGs struggle with those. Pinnacle machines are being added to the Sturmgeschütz there from a nearby StuG brigade attached to the Panzer Lehr. Sappers out there as the Bren guns and light machine gun wielding grenadiers. They're cutting them to ribbons, slaughtering them mercilessly. And StuG, they're joining in for a few fun shots as well. Pioneers pushed back by the sectioning in the fuel point here. Pioneers falling back there as well. And Sniper hanging about here by an old power pole or by a utility pole. You got the landing officer charging in there with a heroic charge, which makes him really difficult to kill, as you might be noticing. It pretty much reduces all received accuracy by like 75%, so they become incredibly difficult to kill while it's active. Plus it gives them a speed boost and a damage boost, so it's rather crazy abilities, which I'm surprised is still in as it is. And we got a command tank out for Stupendousman again, pushing his force back up to 2 StuGs, a Panzer IV, and a command tank. So a nice mix of forces there for Stupendousman, a nice composition, very solid, flexible, and strong, like Germany. Up north here though, single Panzer with the British infantry, which without anti-tank weapons are pretty much doomed. A for the Panzer IV crew could hit StuGs, shouting 40 with the Panzer IV command tank spearheading. Bit risky there, I'm not entirely sure what Stupendousman is planning here, almost losing it to the 6-pounder gun, which is now supported by a second one, meaning it has a much better chance of destroying Stupendousman's army. In particular, the StuGs will be more vulnerable to that. There you go, pushing up with the 6-pounder guns. Latched over that infantry support though is being pretty reckless there. It's high likelihood of losing. Sniper support there, and there you go. Command tank pulling behind here. StuG bombarding. Actually getting some kills there. Mostly because it doesn't have to shoot directly at the gun shield, but can actually flank the unit behind their gun shield. Which is certainly an important distinction. StuG trying to take out the sniper there. Fritz, they're StuG, not a Scharfschütze. Come on, what's the worst that can happen? It's not like they can hurt us. Ooh, almost got another sniper there. German Vickers there with Panzergrenadiers hitting their Latch's calf point. He seems at this point just to be playing up for the crocodile, but at this point it feels like it's going to be too late. I mean, he's losing too many victory points, not got a lot of the map left versus Stupendousman. And Stupendousman has got several machine guns, tanks, assault guns, and whatnot. Or it feels like Latch got too concerned with stuff there, could have pressured him on the north at times versus him. In fact, we also note here this machine gun bunker being attempted by Stupendousman to help defend the northern victory point, while he's got the rest of his forces more centered around the other two then. Push in the sniper from this support, Vetty 2 there. But there's just too many Germans about. Too many Germans with too many guns. And too many panzers. Pushed back here by the veteran free Panzergrenadiers. Who get sniped. 5 kills for the Commonwealth. Latch though can now go for the crocodile. All of its hooks is now riding on this large fire-belching behemoth of the British Army. Can it succeed where the Comet failed? Can it achieve a victory for King and Country? Almost got the Panzer IV there though. Crocodile still takes some time before they arrive to the front line. Taking any shortcut possible through any terrain possible. Machine gun bank upgraded, so that's going to be more difficult there for Latch to deal with now.
50 points left.
He's going straight for the centre there. He's going straight forward, right into the thickest of it. Hoping that the comets, Crocodile will bounce off as many shots as possible. And there you go, target weak point, double Stugs firing there. They could also double target weak point. They're even using raid operation. You can see that Latch is getting desperate. He is getting desperate to just delay and buy time. Stunned up there. Or at least the turret got jammed here by the Stugs. Apparently the target weak point missed. Bit lucky there for Latch. That's about it. And there you go, the Stugs so quickly making short work of the Crocodile anyways. Good penetration, good rate of fire. Got a 6-pounder coming up support here. Oh, don't lose the Stug. There you go, Betsy the Feeble's going to lose the Stug. Shice is calling in a smoke screen as well here. But too slow there. Forced Stupendousman. Too late. The ace Stug is gone. And the wreckage gets blown up as well.
The enemy are attacking one of our forward positions.
Basically, Latch, I suppose, trying to avoid somehow the Stug crew just resurrecting itself and returning to the fight there, because there's no logical way otherwise you know Stupendousman to be able to repair in time, get it back in a fight here since he's got the lead anyways. So with the Crocodile line, Latch pretty much has got an option left, and he's just being rolled over here by Stupendousman. Looks like he's going to just ride it out here to the last victory point here. Some players do that, some do not. Well, most do not really. Some do, some very much. It seems like Latch is one of those. Just keeps fighting despite the hot being over some time ago. And there you go, GG, game over. Brutal fight here between Stupendousman and Latch. Some good play there with Stupendousman. Initially also by Latch, there was an interesting strategy. The problem was just sort of mid-game. He sort of just fell apart there, didn't choose a doctrine. There was a bit of, I think, lack of clarity, lack of strategy. Upgrades for this infantry, I think, also came awfully late. There was a lot of munitions float, but again, just a really late doctrinal choice there, which could have benefited Latch a lot more had he just gone for it sooner. Plus, he increasingly just felt more focused around the centre of the map for getting the flanks and trying to not really outmaneuver his opponent, where Stupendousman generally sort of aimed for those sort of engagements. He just consistently tried to catch his opponent off guard, destroy him, and just move on to the next engagement. He never really tried to get caught up in a war of attrition, which really benefited Stupendousman, so allowed him to fight a lot more cost efficiently versus Latch. Plus, of course, he made better use of his armour. Latch there tried to play straight for the comets, risky, but in this case, not really paying off. He probably would have been off just rushing out a crumble that way, trying to gain an edge, then going in for comets, for example. So, some thoughts there to the match, but there's certainly some room for improvement there for Latch. But overall, well played by Stupendousman. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe to your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a reply and feedback in the comment section. And if you like what I do consider donating or pledging on Patreon. Links in the video description. Of course, a big thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, without which this episode would not have been possible. So thank you to all of you, and of course, thanks to all of my viewers for joining in. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.